And what I see is possibly more of the same. So with this mixed government, if we continue to have this blue, red, blue, with the Senate being controlled by the Republicans, I think it's going to be tough to make substantial changes. I think the legislative environment will be more modest. And so this low tax environment that we have, headline rate of 21% for corporations and 39% for individuals, could be with us at least in the short term. So that's, I think, interesting for corporations for sure.
Yeah, without getting into the politics of it, I know there's a lot of focus on the Georgia Senate races, and a lot of people care for a lot of reasons. Of course, it matters for the candidates, for the states, for the makeup. But from a tax policy perspective, Joe Manchin, a Democrat from West Virginia, has effectively come out and said that he is not going to go with any wild progressive proposals, effectively maybe vote even sort of semi-Republican. I only bring that up, Kate, because it seems like any huge sweeping tax changes do seem unlikely.
I think that's right, Brian. I mean, obviously, we're watching. One of the senators came out and said a 25% rate. But a lot of this really hinges on being able to negotiate and work bipartisan to make that happen. And so one of the things that's on our company's minds right now is the expiring provisions in the Jobs Act that was enacted, the big sweeping changes we had 4 years ago. And so there's three big provisions: bonus depreciation, R&D amortization, and then interest expense, that could actually, if nothing's done, make the tax rate, the actual rate that's paid, because remember, a headline rate is different than what's actually paid, go up. And so that's on everybody's mind as well. So that has to be taken care of. And then, of course, there's a whole host of agendas that need to be done. And what taxes will be latched onto those is important as well.
Yeah, we don't focus on effective rates. I asked a buddy of mine what his effective rate was, kind of as a joke. He said 25%. He came back the next day and said actually it was 4%. You've got a lot of CEOs and CFOs that are watching our show right now, Kate. Knowing what you know, which I know not a lot given that there could be some changes, but knowing what we know, what is your best piece of corporate tax strategy advice for our audience right now?
Well, if I could suggest three things. First of all, you have to practice a little patience. Let's let the dust settle. And then second is stay really close with your tax function. The complexity right now, because when you add in the global aspects, every country right now is revenue starved. So they're going to enact a lot of legislation. The onslaught of legislation is going to be huge. And then thirdly, get prepared to educate. I think tax, it's hard for me to understand, but tax is often misunderstood. And the people in Congress need a lot of education to make sure they really understand how it works. So I think you have to put your plan together now.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.